Hello everyone, hope you all are good. By using this video, I would like to brief you about documentation of project charter for data center transformation project. So though it looks very technical, actually it is not. Mostly we write a project charter document that describes the project. Not exactly too much technical things will be included in this document. First, let us understand what is a data center. A data center is a central repository which consists of all the applications, the server application details, data, completely data that will be used, customer data, supplier data, employee data, all types of data that will be generated or used in the information system will be stored on data center. Mostly we will be having different information systems to uh, make different functional modules of business operate. For example, if we are a HR department, to make HR department operate, we will be having a HR information system. The HR information system related, whatever the data that will be stored on HR information system will be backed up onto the data center, which is a central repository which consists of all the data and supports different information systems in by storing the data that will be generated by the information system and allowing it to access. When, if, for example, if I want to get access related to X employee, I can access information by using HR information system where the data will be accessed from the central repository. So before starting this document, it is very important that take 20 to 30 minutes time, try to understand what is the data center and how it operates, how it is important for an organization. That's it. Then whatever the work we do, that will be very easy to perform. So like data center is also a simple network. We install different type of components on a network. Usually if you have a organization or at your home, if you are getting connected to the internet, they will do different activities, like they will be installing a server. Maybe they will be first they will be wiring our location, then they will be we purchase, or they might be providing you networking devices which will be installed. Then the networking cables will be connected to the system, using which you will be connecting to the internet. So simple thing, that is a small scale one, very small one. When we have a office, 10 people in the office, that is again it will become some bigger size of internet network connection, where 10 different systems should be interconnected first, and that interconnected 10 systems will be then connected to the network connection again. So the process will be same, like a router will be installed at your location at home. One system will be connected to that location, that router, and when it is office, multiple systems will be connected to that router using different devices. So that is a simple thing, simple way of understanding how a network will be installed. First they will be laying cables, then they ensure that power connections are established, then they install it to different type of system. So here if you take data center installation, it is clearly mentioned that 3 legacy data centers will be installed or migrated to cloud. Next one is total of 3 of primary data centers will be there. 2 are used for the production and 1 for the disaster recovery. So they will be installing different type of systems, and the network connections will be established, which will be used for operation purpose and data recovery purpose. So this is just basic, whatever the activities we are going to do as a part of the project. Next we will be installing different systems and servers means computers only, like basic systems. Then virtual systems will also be installed. VMware, these are some virtual systems, they will be installed as a part of completing this project. Then a budget related detailing is given here. First thing, we will be installing 3 data centers, and among those 3 data centers, 2 production data centers and 1 is for data recovery, and all these are connected with the WAN, wide area networks, means it will be located in different cities across the state. And the client has 145 enterprise applications. All these applications will be installed. So nothing to do with it, basically to understand what is the size of the data center we are implementing, these details are important. Okay, so for example, if you take what activities you will be performing, we have to write about that. We speak about all these things. We will be installing 3 primary data centers. As a part of installation of 3 primary data centers, we will be installing 450 Windows servers. So to describe that, this information is very important. And when you speak about finances, we say that the budget that is allocated to the project is 1.5 million, and if some risk or some adjustment is to be done, contingency budget will be used. Means 10% of contingency budget will be used for the power. For example, your allocated budget is completed, and if you can't continue with the work, this contingency budget can be utilized. Okay, so remaining all are very basic details regarding the data center. Okay, so I tell you I recommend you that please try to understand what is a data center and how it is helpful and what kind of activities will be performed while implementing data center. A basic knowledge is required to complete this document. Now after completing that, now we think as a project manager and we try to document this report. The first document of any project is a project charter. We already wrote a discussion on that. The project charter consists of basic detailing regarding the project that we are going to implement. Here the project is data center transformation. We will be installing it data centers for the given organization. Okay, you can detail any, you can take any name of the organization, and for that organization you are going to install a data center. For that you are preparing a project charter report. So this is all for understanding. Now the actual document structure is provided here. So we are supposed to mention a title for the project. So you know that data center transformation, that is what we are doing. So in your own style, you just mention your title, project title. Maybe if I say that design and installation of data center project for the organization, maybe that could be my title. In your own style, you can give your own title. Next, what is the purpose of this project? Why this project is required? So that should be explained. The simple answer to that is why a data center is required for the organization. If you address that question, you can address the purpose of installation of data center or taking up this project. Okay, there will definitely data center implementation will be providing certain benefits to the organization, right? So that details should be provided here. Next section speaks about description. For this one, it is a one-liner, and the purpose, you can write one small paragraph, hardly 50 words. This can be 50 words. Next, description, make sure that you write 100 odd words. Describing the project and what activities it consists of, what kind of activities we are going to perform. Based on this information, this project summary, you can understand what activities will be performed as a part of the description. You can write it. Next, this is objectives section. What are the important things that we will be doing as a part of the project? What we are going to accomplish as a part of completing this project, that should be discussed. Maybe hardly 5 lines, 5 different statements related to this. Maybe first one is installation of 2 production data centers, possibly, or like you can make it simple in your own style. You can discuss about these things. Okay, so that is all about objectives. If I was there, I will write like installation of primary data centers, next installation of WAN circuits related to that, and installation of 145 enterprise applications, and installation and configuration of 1350 servers. Like that I will be writing. Maybe some other person might write specifically installation of 450 Windows servers, installation. After installation, interconnection between, establishing configuration interconnection between these servers. Maybe basically some statements related to this summary will be written here. Okay, so we write it from project summary because we are working on that project. Next, these all are next, whatever the sections we come, they are very theoretical and very easy to address. So make sure that you are understanding the concept and writing it. First, let us see project success criteria. Usually, like success criteria depends on most important constraints that are related to the project. So maybe if your budget, the project should be within the budget schedule, within the time schedule, quality factors should be maintained. There will be certain factors which ensures that project is successful. And it is also important that all the important functionalities that are mentioned about the project should be achieved. Then only the project is considered as successful. So what could be the success criteria? That is given in this link. You can read from that and you can write it. Next one, expected benefits. You just write what are the benefits of installation of data center. Funding. What is the estimated budget of the project, and how the funds will be paid? See, the funds payment will be based on, for example, let us take maybe if you take an organization, some people will be part timers and some type of people will be full timers. Full timers will be paid once in a month, and part timers will be paid maybe weekly or daily basis. So how the funding will be done? Maybe for this project we can do like at a one time allocation can be made of funds. That is one type. If you are writing that, ignore the second type. Maybe second type, if you take milestone based, they might be allocating the funds. Maybe if first milestone is done, then for second milestone funds might be released. In that way the funds will be released. Okay, so this is basic information related funding. Actually budget is mentioned here, so you can speak about the budget, and what is the amount that will be allocated, and how these funds will be released, when and how that will be released. That should be detailed here. Maybe after completing the milestone, after reviewing it, if the project management or project stakeholders are happy with the performance, they might be allocating the new funds. So it is very easy to address, the simple thing. Next, you should speak about acceptance criteria. So acceptance criteria, usually we accept something after completing it. Maybe like at initial stage we will be certain requirements that should be handled while deployment of the data center project. So after completing the data center project, what are the key factors that will be considered by the organization or project stakeholders or project sponsors who wanted this project to be done? What factors they will consider? That should be discussed here. Maybe 3 or 4 points, 100 words, and each point you can simply mention the point and you can briefly discuss what it is in 1-2 liners. That is enough. Okay, so you can click on any link and you can find details regarding that. So mostly what similarly like the success criteria relevant to this one. So just read from these links, you can definitely find best information related to that. So what are the major deliverables? Major deliverables after completing the project, what will be delivered to the sponsor or the client who gave us the project, what we will be deploying. So data center project deliverables, mostly the network that is implemented, some of the documents that are related to the project, maybe user guides kind of thing, maybe risk management documentation, some kind of reports and documents related to the project will be delivered. So these are some of the delivers that will be allocated. What are the milestones? So again, this should be written from the summary, so you can cross check here. So these are some project related detailing. You can speak about installation of maybe laying cables, that can be one milestone. Again, establishing power connections, something. You can ignore them and you can write it from here also. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, some 6, 5 to 6 type of detailing were given here. From that you can write your milestones, and its start date, end date should be mentioned. Okay, along with the milestone name, you are supposed to write its start date and end date. Next, what are the key assumptions? So key assumptions are something that should be made when we are starting the work. For example, we say that for this project we can say that basic research is completed for the project. So now we are starting from the installation process. So you can assume 1 or 2 assumptions you can make. In that way you can make 1 or 2 assumptions. Some examples related to the assumptions are given here. Maybe you can assume that people will be working during Saturdays and Sundays, so to reduce the total duration of the project. That can be an assumption. It is assumed that maybe work hours are between 9:30 and 5. That can be also an assumption. In that way we make certain assumptions that will have impact on the project. Okay, we are supposed to discuss about those things. You just check these things and write any 2 assumptions that you feel appropriate. Next, constraints and risks. Key constraints of the project. Usually 4 main constraints are scope, quality, cost, and time schedule. So there are 4 main constraints. You can speak about them, and in this document it clearly discusses about project constraints And regarding risks, you can find plenty of documents outside which speaks about project management risks. Make sure that you read appropriate document and understand the concept, mention one or two constraints. So here also, this for this section also, it is hardly 100 odd words, two different sections, and you can mention them in bullet points, whatever the things that you identify, and try to explain it. That's fine. Next, approval requirement. You can see a document is given here. This is mostly related to the project scope change. See, when we start working on a project, there will be different situations. Maybe, for example, if we start writing a document, we say that maybe we can finish it in half an hour, but sometimes it go beyond that, right? In such situations, if it is not, we are not able to complete it in half an hour, what is the process that we follow to get the document to be accepted? That is how we decide about the project scope change management. Usually while performing projects, while completing projects, some kind of risks or uncertain situations happen. Maybe some technical new advanced requirement might be asked by the organization. So in such situations, whatever we planned, that should be changed. For example, if we want to install a new additional system, maybe we need another network engineer to work on that project. So that is what we call scope change. In such situations, what is the process that we are going to follow? That is explained here. So we start describing what is scope management and how the process happens. For example, you can check in this book, it clearly mentioned. So let me expand this. So if you see here, usually scope management, for scope management to review what are the basic requirements, we need these documents. From these documents we understand that whatever the thing that we are asking, that is not within this list. So now the project scope management process starts. Now what happens, experts will analyze the situation, means because of the scope change, to what extent it is going to impact the organization, whether it is feasible for the organization or not. If we accept that scope, to what extent we are going to lose or what extent we are going to gain benefits because of that scope change. That will be evaluated, then a decision will be made by the sponsors. So this is the process usually business organizations follow while handling scope change. So first thing, they identify scope. Next, they review scope for its benefits and its impact on project, and finally they make a decision on that. Who will make a decision on that? Mostly project sponsors or the project owners who will be funding the organization, they will be making a decision. So we discuss all these things in detail there. The process should be explained. Next, it speaks about reporting requirements. There are different type of reports that we usually generate while completing the project. Here I have given list of reports, and clear detailing about each report can be found from these sections from this book. Okay, you just go and look into them, you will understand. I suggest you to write only approximately four different type of reports. Speak about risks, whatever you feel important, you just write, not a problem. Next, 14th section is about project manager. In this section, we try to speak what is meant by project manager and what are their responsibilities, what they do as a part of completing this project. So that's it. And 15th section, please ignore that, it is not for you. Okay. So I hope you understood that it is mostly a theoretical one. We are speaking about project management, and enough resources were given to you. If you are new writing this document, please try it. It is a very clear and unique document that helps you to understand project management concept. All the best, team. Use resources, give your best. Thank you.